Hey, oh my gosh, gotta move over my microphone. Moving during COVID, I don't recommend it. And I would have never done it if we weren't forced to. But here we are in our new home. It's still not terribly up and running. I hope you can understand that. It's still messy. You can see a couple of yoga mats behind me. The only reason I have this black thing behind me, which I've used as my background, is because what I ordered, which was supposed to be here yesterday, has yet to arrive. Has that ever happened to you where you order something and it doesn't arrive when it says it's going to? I really find that annoying. I mean, maybe it's just me, but it just bugs the stink out of me. I do have something I'm going to share with you local stuff in case anybody local is watching. Yesterday, Rich is my husband, in case you don't know who he is. That's my husband, and he's not here. He's working. Another story on that. But for us to have lunch here yesterday, I was like, oh, go to Tacos A Go-Go. I had been wanting to try Tacos A Go-Go because the decor just looks cute, especially like when I look at the menu online. I mean, it just kind of like, lures me in and I'm attracted to it. Well, let me tell you, if you have a taco that says you need to have this before you die, it needs to be backed up with actual flavor. I was so disappointed with what I tried from Tacos A Go-Go because I want to love them and I just can't. And you might hear little clicky sounds in the background. That's Chalupa and Tamale being, my little fur babies that they just got to be in my business when I'm on camera. I don't know what it's up with that, but they just do. So if you have not tried Tacos A Go-Go, I'm sorry, I cannot recommend that. And I really, really wanted to ever so much. Oh my gosh, I did not bring the piece of paper over here because since we moved, I've been getting a lot of stuff because, whenever you move, you always need new stuff. And that's what I've been doing, be it from Amazon, be it from Etsy, because your girl is not going into the stores because, I just want to be safe and totally social distance my butt. Anyway, I do want to share with you, and I'm going to tell you the name of the Etsy store, but I absolutely love this, and I'm knocking everything over. Good gravy Marie. I mean, literally, it's getting all tangled. My life, I'm so planned. So here, okay. Hopefully you can see this because I can't see what I'm showing you. But this is absolutely gorgeous. Let me go back so I can see me on StreamYard. Okay. Am I showing it right? Okay. So this is for me to write on. And what we have done, because I have not been to the grocery store since March. When all of this stuff started going down, I just stopped going to the grocery store because I'm high risk. And I'm like, you know what? I don't need all that. So my husband goes. And we had another thing like this, but different, not as nice, not anywhere near as nice as this. And I would, write down our list, and then I always want a place for my keys, and right here, and then, mail in here. Now, my slot for mail always scares Rich to death for some reason because I just put a bunch of stuff in there. But having a list is a life-saving thing because he'll take a picture of it. And then he goes to the store and he does his level best to get whatever the heck it is I request now. And I'm not going to remember the name of it, but the person who owns the Etsy shop, the person's name is the same name of someone that I knew in college, and it's not the same person. But I just thought, oh, wow, that's really kind of funny. So let me look up and tell you the name of it, and I will put a link in the description because, I love being able to support small business owners. And, this is an instance. I mean, go on Etsy, find some stuff, get some stuff, support people. And I have some other things that I've gotten from there that I will be sharing with you guys too. This is the first thing that came in. Where is the name of the shop? I'm sorry. I'm never organized as organized as I want to be. Okay. Here it is. This is called a wall mail and key organizer with dry erase board. You can also get a chalkboard if you prefer chalk. My husband wanted a dry erase board, so we went with that. And I love kind of a rustic style. I also love Day of the Dead stuff. So I saw this with the kind of rustic look to it. It spoke to me. And the store is Darby Creek Rustics. Again, that's Darby Creek Rustics. Not sponsored or anything like that. I mean, come on. I am so teeny tiny. Who's going to sponsor your girl right now? No one. But I definitely want to share with you guys things that I believe in, things that I can get behind and I can back up and say, I like their products, because I do believe in sharing that with people, but I really feel like you need to be able to say that you actually like them and stuff. And I do. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. Hey there, Katie Ann. How are you doing? Oh, did you like dark? I am so glad. I am so glad. Oh, my lipstick is like 3 different shades, and that is Tamale and Chalupa right behind me. Hey, you guys are a mess. Boxy puppy. Chalupa, boxy puppy. I tell Chalupa boxy puppy, and he'll go put himself in his box. Tamale doesn't do that, but Chalupa generally does. Anyway, I've got a lot of things to talk about. One of the things that I do want to talk, because I asked you guys, what do you want me to talk about? So, I don't have that pulled up. I intended to. I have a lot of intention with things, and sometimes, my intention just doesn't happen. I don't know about you, but sometimes it just doesn't. It's like I try to get it together, and honestly, it's like I'm never really together. And you think that when you get older, it's like all of a sudden your life is going to be together. It's not. I just hate to break the news to you, but I'm going to be truthful, and it's not. It's never going to be all the way together. It just isn't. You think that maybe one day it will be, and then there's the reality. Now I just dropped the lid to that. Anyway, have you watched The Umbrella Academy, the 2nd season of The Umbrella Academy? I absolutely loved it, and very excited about the 3rd season coming out, which, of course, it's not going to be out for like another year or whenever people can start filming again, because I honestly don't know what is being filmed right now. Okay, so let me go to, because I asked people, say, hey, what do you want me to talk about? And I may or may not be able to talk about these things. It just depends on what people said. And I didn't get that many people that said anything. Joseph is so kind, because he's like, whatever you need to vent about. Now, this goes back to my husband, and this is funny, because my husband works all day today, because they have brunch and then they have dinner also. And he didn't know when I was going live. I didn't tell him that I was going live, because I'm like, dude's going to be gone all day. So it really doesn't make him know, never mind. He's not going to be around. What does he do? He texts me and tells me that he forgot some paperwork here and he needs to come by and get it. Now, today starts inventory Sunday. And this comes around every month. And so he has to get like all the wine stuff together. And so part of the paperwork was left here. And I'm like, of course you left something here. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because it is exactly at the time when I was planning on going live. I'll be there at around 3. It's like, oh, perfect timing. Thank you, sweetie pie. He actually did make it here a little bit before then. And so he's gone on his merry way. But, it's just like, it just never fails. That I really did try to plan and didn't think that I would have to let him know, because he was supposed to be at work all day. All right. And then Renee says, anything. Oh, gosh, maybe about your color scheme. Huh? My color scheme it's all still trying to come together. Now, something I am excited about is that I think we're going to finally be able to have I don't know if to call it a kitchen table or a dining table, because we don't have an eat-in kitchen and a dining room. We're in a 2-bedroom apartment, and where I'm at my home office / YouTube studio over here, there is a door right there with, blinds, and over here, there's another window, and right in front of me are 3 windows. So I'm like in this little nook space, and it's a complete mess. But I did order a cute, background room divider thing, because behind me over here is our living room, and I want to have some kind of separation, but I don't really. It's obviously it hasn't happened yet. So I know somewhere where I want to go and look for the dining room table. There's a place here in Houston called Enagic. There's also one in Dallas. And I love it because it's like rustic type furniture, and it's really cute, and it's, affordable. So I definitely want to go look there. So, and it might take me a while to figure it out. And I need a new desk so that Rich can get this desk. But the desk that I want from IKEA, it's not available right now. Of course not. You know how that goes. It's something that you want and they don't have it. So I don't really have a color scheme of anything. And somebody said, talk about ACN. Well, Russ, for me to be able to talk about ACN, believe it or not, I just don't know about every single MLM and can't just like pluck out all the knowledge off the top of my head. I have to spend time and go research these things. So I can't really say anything about ACM off the top of my head. And it's somewhere amongst all of my stuff. I do have a list of like topics and stuff. I've had index cards, but since I'm still unpacking, have no clue where that is. So, I'll just get to it when I get to it. But I did get 2 videos done this past week on mascara, MASKCARA, and it is another makeup MLM. One, I just kind of went into Reddit and did some stuff, and the other one was the deep dive. So if you haven't seen those, check those out. And I'm probably going to do, there's some rants in me. So over on my second channel, which is Alonda Unscripted, if you are so inclined to check that out, hop over there. And it really started because of us being forced to move and everything. And also Peter Mon, who, if you have not watched any of Peter's channels, he has 5 of them. He's one of the inspirations behind this channel, in addition to the move. His back is messed up really bad right now. So go to his channel, send him some love, because I know what it's like to have back pain. I know what it's like to have chronic pain. And, hearing him is just really kind of, I really related to it because been there, deal with pain all the time. Now, okay. So this is me getting serious. Yeah, like so serious. But, really, and I think I'm going to rant more about this over on Alonda Unscripted, but I do want to talk about it here a bit because I think it can segue into MLMs. Now, yesterday, I was watching, I never can remember this YouTuber's name, but he starts out saying, hey, my buttery biscuits or something like that. And he does reviews. He does do a little bit of tea and stuff like that. But I like him. And this was about MAC Cosmetics, like getting rid of all of their full-time employees, but being willing to hire them back at a lower rate, I guess like entry rate, whatever that is. Apparently, according to what he said, allegedly, once you start working for MAC Cosmetics, there's no cap on what you can make. And so every year or in your review, you get a raise of sorts. So you can imagine if somebody has been there 5, 10, 15, 20 years, they can be making a nice, chunk of money. And so for this to happen, it was kind of like basically, well, this is really crappy. And I agree, it is crappy. But I will say this, okay? This will be, I guess, your mom letting you know something. There's no company in this world that owes you anything, no matter how long you've been working for them. That is the bottom line. And that's why I'll probably rant about this more over on Alonda Unscripted, because I have all kinds of stories I can go into about that. This is something that happens with companies all the time. Right now, it's due to what's going on in the world. And so companies, and I will use what my husband says. He's like, well, they got to keep their yachts, meaning the people at the top, and he just says yachts because, they want to keep their billions, their millions, whatever. And I get that. It's a business. They're not there to care about whether or not you have a family. And I know it sounds crappy, but it's the harsh reality is like, they're not there to worry about anybody on the front line. What they have to do is, make sure the people who are shareholders, that they're happy. And if they're not happy, then, there's consequences. I don't know what those consequences are because, I've never been at that kind of level or anything. But the bottom line is I felt like when I listened to this video, watched this video, whatever you want to call it, I just felt like a lot of privilege was there. Like there's this expectation that since you've been with this company that, well, you should not, nothing should happen. You should just be able to keep on staying with what you're making. And in theory, it'd be great if that could happen. But when there is a downturn, that's not what happens. And I've been through all kinds of things like this. And, I really think it goes back to, because I think that, he's probably the guy that the channel that I'm talking about. I think he might be in his late 20s, early 30s. And at that age, honestly, you don't realize how much that this can happen to you over and over and over again in your lifetime. And this is where I segue into the MLM connection. And I think sometimes that stuff can be a reason why someone would be attracted to joining a multi-level marketing company. Because, companies, they don't care about you. They don't care that you have bills. They don't care if you have health issues. They just don't care. They're not there to care. They're there to run a business, and you're there. You basically have a contract between you agree to do a particular job for a particular amount of money for whatever time that is, be it hourly, be it annually, whatever. You make that agreement. So you have that contract between the parties, and they don't have to keep on giving you more. If they need to cut back in some way, they can do it. You're not owed anything. So if that happens to you, the best thing you can do is figure out, what do I do now if you end up in a position like that? Because your girl has ended up in positions like that. I mean, all kinds of things have happened to me. And honestly, when I was much younger, I had this kind of fantasy in my head, and I think it came from stuff that I saw from watching TV shows from the 50s, because there used to be a time when you would join a company and work for them for 20, 25 years, get the gold watch, all of this, and you had a pension, and basically, you were taken care of. And it's you retired and you still had a good life. Things have changed, and it's not like that. People do not work for companies in general for many, many years. In general, people will work 2-3 years, if that, and move on to something else. So, I mean, I will go into it more over on Alonda Unscripted, but I just really felt like there was a lot of privilege coming through with the expectation that, the company should not do that to these people. And I mean, it would be better if it didn't happen. Of course it would, I mean, I haven't liked it when it's happened to me. It sucks. It sucks big time. And it feels terrible, and it makes you angry, and it made me angry. And in part of that anger, that's how I got caught up into joining Beachbody, because I was just PO'd at how I was treated by a large corporation. And so that's where I'm like, you know what? I can see, especially some of these people working at MAC or something, they might see Sweet Minerals, mascara, Unique, what have you, and think, well, you know what? I know how to do makeup. I've already got a following, and it could be a way for them to, make money as they're figuring out what to do. Just, these are random thoughts in my head. I don't know what your thoughts are on it, and it might be different than mine. And if you want to hear me rant more about it, because like I said, I have a lot more to say about it, because I have a lot of stories. It might be kind of a ranty story time. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I think I will talk about it more, because I think it does need to be talked about, because I don't think in general people realize that is very commonplace. It's not just something like it's happening right now. It is happening now, but it happens all the time, pandemic or no pandemic. It's just part of life. Okay, moving on. And I got to get some water. Okay, you guys have probably know about the Hype House, where the TikTokers go and they, make their TikTok things. And I have a TikTok account. I think I've made 1 or 2 videos of, and not even me on there, because I'm like, me and TikTok, we just aren't friends. It's I just don't have time to sit around and make these, clever little 1-minute whatevers. It's that's just not my jam, and that's okay. But one of the things that had bothered me about seeing some of these young TikTokers, and it was a couple of weeks ago that I know James Charles and who else was with him? They went to some kind of parties and stuff. And then there was that huge party last week at the Hype House. If you're an influencer, if you're anybody it has any size of people listening to you on social media, and I don't even think I qualify as a nano influencer. I have such a small presence, but there are people that watch me. I don't want to recommend stuff that's crappy, that's scammy. I feel like you have a responsibility to put a message out of telling people to do the right thing, so to speak. And especially right now with what's going on in the world, seeing those people going out places, no mask on, going to parties, large gatherings. To me, I was like, are you kidding me? Because it doesn't matter what your age is. You're still vulnerable to what's happening in the world, which I'll segue into where my husband works. He works at a high-end restaurant. And right now, we are not supposed to have crowds more than, I think, like 8 people. I believe that's what it was. It was 10, but they brought it down. And right now, Texas, our numbers have started going down, but we're not down to a point where, it's like, in my opinion, anything to write home about. Because I think it's still at 17% or something like that. I can't remember. I've slept since then. But he sent me a picture because there was a wedding party there last night. And the way they get around it is that they'll have like 12 tables of 8. And so then they're able to have larger gatherings because they all just happen to know each other and they're all in the same ballroom. But they're finding ways to get around it. And I understand business-wise for a restaurant because they need to bring in money. And I get that. But at the same time, I do worry about the safety because I know where my husband has worked, there's been people in the kitchen. There's been people in, different areas of the restaurant that just haven't been around for a couple of weeks. Gee, I wonder why. Why could that be, So people, he told me he personally knows at least 12 people who have tested positive. That's a significant amount of people. So I'm kind of wondering, if this is happening at a high-end restaurant, what's happening at other places? Because it's going on. And speakeasies are happening. And, we've had bars here in Houston be like, oh, we didn't realize we weren't supposed to be open. Did you not hear the mandate that bars are supposed to be closed and you happen to be a bar? But now places are trying to say like, oh, we're really more of a restaurant because we get 51% of our revenue from food. Since when? When did that become a thing for you? Because that's never been a thing before. But you see, they're trying to rewrite things. And I get it because people want to still be making money. I understand all of that. But anyway, back to these young influencers or any kind of influencer, whatever they're putting out. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to talk about this very briefly because I told you I did those videos on mascara. Well, a big influencer, who gave basically a shout out to that MLM. Are you ready? Toddy Westbrook. I found that I might do a video just on that. And I think it's a couple of years old. I don't remember because again, I've slept since then, but I saw it. And my thought is she was probably paid because I think there's only one little stinking small video under 3 minutes. And I'm like, to me, that's just suspicious. That doesn't feel authentic to me. But could I see her being paid to say something like, oh, look how fabulous this is? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I know that happened? No, I don't. I'm conjecturing. I'm giving my own opinion because we're allowed to give opinions about things. So anything that somebody with status like Tati or other people, I really think that you need to know what are you talking about, which this is segueing into. Do you like all my segues? Segueing into Holly Marie Combs, who played Piper on Charmed. And I don't remember when it came out exactly because I was all in moving brain, But she joined, and it's Monat, the hair thing. The hair company, the hair MLM, with the shampoo that there's been multiple lawsuits on, and there's been all kinds of things come out about that one. But apparently she joined, and I will be doing like a response to a live stream that she did on Instagram. But someone like her, gee, do you not think that won't boost up sales? Now, I don't know if she's being paid to say anything or not. She says, that she's not, but who knows? Who really, she does, when she goes to bed and lays her head down at night, she knows. I don't know because I don't know what went on behind the scenes. But what I do know is that when people on Twitter, and I'm one of the people that said something to her, probably not the day that, she did her first tweet about any of this or when that, because people in the MLM community were, saying things to her and she didn't like that. And she responded rather harshly, even with threatening to sue someone, which is really comical because when you watch that live stream, she's basically telling people, don't worry about the lawsuits with Monet because, people in America, they're just, they're just suit happy. But yet she's threatening it herself on when people are talking about her and her joining an MLM. And I'm like, those two just don't really, I don't get it. I don't understand. Now myself, I don't remember the exact words that I sent to her. I have no ill towards Holly whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I think it would be fabulous. This is an apology video that the world needs, is if someone like Holly, who did get caught up in an MLM, came out and said that she made a mistake. Because when I watched everything, it looks as if she did her due diligence and research to find out about the company. She was asking a lot of questions, but it doesn't look like she paid any attention to anything that says anything negative about Monet. As a matter of fact, she does the same line that any other hun has done. It's not a pyramid scheme. Those are illegal. We got product-based pyramid scheme. There are things. And so I was really I was basically asking her, would you talk to Robert Fitzpatrick? I'd be happy to arrange something like that because Robert has been fighting against this for many years. I've interviewed him on my channel, or she'd talk to Doug Brooks, who I've also interviewed, and he's an attorney. He worked on the Nixium case. I mean, there are people I think that she could talk to actually educate herself about the destructive nature of this. And it's one thing to hear from someone like me, and I'm a little no one, I'm a little no one, but let me offer a conversation that you can have with someone who has weight, who has been doing this for many, many years, who has all kinds of experience, who has written books, and, talk to them. Listen to someone who can tell you all about the ins and outs. And yes, I can tell you plenty about it, but I would rather someone who has been doing it for a much longer time than me, and who has been contacted. Robert was contacted by the John Oliver piece. They had contacted Robert about all of that. And anytime anything comes out about, different documentaries or anything, these people that I'm talking about, they're contacted as advisors. So it's like I wanted her to be able to talk to people who can really provide her a lot of details and back it up with all kinds of things. But what did she do? She just blocked me. That was the response that I got. It was just like blocked. And I thought, well, that's just interesting. So again, I have no ill will towards Holly whatsoever. What I would like for her to do is, if you are open to learning about the pro side, be open to learning about the other side and why we say the things that we do. Look at the evidence, really open your mind to the evidence that is out there and listen to what we're saying, as opposed to be like, oh, no, just a bunch of haters, I don't need any negativity in my life, because that's just a classic hun thing to do. So I will talk more about that. And now we're going to get into some more of the hate comments because, let me just tell you, doing the whole move thing, I had just like so much hate come on. It's like, wow. And I just have to kind of wonder, the people, and they're obviously trolls because they have like 0 subscribers and they're just keyboard warriors. Why do they feel, inclined to, write all this stuff? How is that making them feel? And can you imagine, if they said these things to me face to face, or if the company they worked for knew what they were saying, how would all that play out? They'd probably look pretty crappy, I don't think that people would be down for some of these things people are saying. So one of the ones that I got, and it's just like another person calling me Carol Baskin. Let me just, set that record clear once again. I have said cats and kittens. She says cool cats and kittens. I've said cats and kittens for many years. And I started doing that when I was a classroom teacher because that's how I got the kids' attention. Hey, cats and kittens. And it just kind of carried on over here. So, I mean, I guess people feel like they're going to cut me down some way in that. It's like, to me, I just think you look like an ass, but that's me. It's like, whatever, if you were watching my channel, I was saying this long before the documentary for Tiger King came out. I didn't just start saying it because Carol Baskin was saying it. So, I mean, but people, I guess that would take them time and they had to actually think deep. And, we don't want to do that. We just want to react and just say something and have absolutely no validity behind it, I guess. I don't know. I just think it's a little bit crazy myself. Let's see. Now I'm going to have to put on my glasses because, I need to be able to read this stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to read all of this, but I get a lot of hate on the Primerica video I did. Now, the Primerica video I did was from many months ago, and it was Ellie's story because she, filled out the form that I had, the Google form, and then I took all of that and I crafted it into a story and I read it. And I also had B-roll going of different things from Primerica. Have I done a deep dive into Primerica? No, I haven't. And it was not the intent for that to be a deep dive because it was someone's story. It was their experience. And this person is like, well, if you're going to tell this story, why don't you tell a story of someone who's been successful? My channel is anti-multi-level marketing, okay? That's what it is. I share the stuff with how people have been harmed by multi-level marketing companies. And if you look at the income disclosure statements, you see a tiny fraction ever actually make money. And so, yeah, I'm not highlighting that because Lord knows they do enough of that themselves, those at the top. What I'm highlighting are the people who have been damaged emotionally, economically, just, psychologically, all the leads, all of that. That's what I do. I'm not here to be like, well, tell me about the fabulous experience that you had with Primerica, I mean, that's not what I do. If somebody wants to do a channel like that, they can. It's not me, and I'm not going to do it. So that's not happening. All right, let's see. Oh, this one is priceless. And what I've started doing, and I want to say thanks to Monica because she and I both follow and listen to Stephanie Harlow. Stephanie does true crime. And Stephanie started posting some of her hate comments on Twitter. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do some of that too because I just get so many weird things. And it's like, wow. And of course, I'm not going to share with who said that because I'm just going to be respectful. But I mean, obviously, people can come to my channel and, look through all the videos and find who it is. And this is not intended to send hate to anyone. I'm not about like, let's just go hate on people. What I do not like is the structure of these businesses. The people who join, I don't have ill will towards them. Those who rise up to the top, that gets to be a very kind of a thin kind of a line because they start becoming, I really feel like their personality completely changes, which somebody did ask me about the personality of people that joined MLMs. That's different. Okay, so do you realize that you might be doing the most Karen thing I've seen? What the heck do you care? How is being a critic being a Karen? I don't understand that. I'm criticizing a structure that I find problematic. I'm not demanding anything from anyone. I'm putting stuff out there that I research, spend a lot of time researching, and I share that. Do I get everything 100% correct? No, I'm human. And guess what? People who are watching, they're human. We make mistakes, and if something is not 100% correct, well, you know what? Because it's like a different year, maybe you should look at when a video came out because things change. Also, maybe you should look at all the resources that I generally provide. I try to do that on most all of my deep dives. And every now and then I do forget because I'm human and I just move on to something else. And here's a beautiful one. This is just beautiful. They have 2 whole subscribers. That last one was on the ring bomb. This is another one from the ring bomb. What a dumb, I'm going to say dumb butt, but it's a word that starts with an A. I just don't want to say it on my channel because I try not to cuss, even though in real life I do cuss like a sailor. But anyway, obnoxious. Okay, so you took time to say that. Okay, yeah, all right. So I'm just apparently an idiot, Well, I think my level of education would say otherwise, but I'm not here to debate you about my intelligence because I think you actually show your intelligence by taking the time to write something like that and just be hateful. Because notice, I'm not sending hate to someone. I am not hating on the people who join and saying how awful they are. It always goes back to the structure of the businesses. Another one I get a lot of hate on is a video that's titled How Ester Hicks is Multi-Marketing's Biggest Scam. And the whole point is that the law of attraction is a big aspect of multi-level marketing. And so when you start peeling back those layers, and Jerry Hicks, who was Esther's husband, he was a diamond in Amway. There's a big clue right there. And Amway was big into personal development like every other MLM. And they actually sold things to their downline. And Jerry went around like doing, like events kind of a thing, where people would come and listen to him talk about whatever. And a lot of his stuff was based on the book. Oh, am I going to get it right? It's the Think and Grow Rich. It was Think and Grow Rich, which that type of a concept, and I've done videos on it. And again, I've slept since then, so I can't remember exactly the history of it all. But you can go back and look into it. And it's like, it's not an original idea, even from Napoleon Hill. It was not an original idea that he came up with. That has been around for a very long time. And so the people that do follow Ester, they come out of the woodworks and just lay into me. But the whole point is for people in the anti-MLM world to see how there's a problem with how this is being used, and how, being set in that mindset over and over and over again really gets you trapped mentally on this, this cycle that is like you can't get out of it, because you have to just keep on, reframing your mindset, because you are the problem according to everything. It could be the business structure. It's you. It's just you. That's why thousands of people, lose money, because the problem is them. All these people who work their butts off, it's all their fault. So whatever. And then, okay, this is from oh my gosh, this video is probably getting close to being a year old. And somebody commented like 2 days ago, and this video is titled, When You Sell Your Kyani Dream Car Because You Cannot Hold Rank. And this person said, we haven't missed a payment from Kyani Dream Car for 7.5 years. And no, we aren't diamonds. Our lifetime rank is emerald. Well, if you look up the Kyani structure and everything, which I did, less than 1% are at the rank of emerald of where they are. And I don't have their income disclosure up or anything, but it's like, really, that's the whole kind of point, is that very few people can do this. And it's how many people are you stepping on in order to do this? I don't know. This one is another one from the Ring Bomb, because again, the Ring Bomb people, they love to come and just, hate on this video. And I guess it's because my video comes up when you search for Ring Bomb Party. I don't know. It says, okay, this cracks me up. I'm not hating, just curious how this works. You set up a video each week breaking down different MLM businesses for our awareness, you say, but then you turn around and ask for Patreons to help fund your videos for $1, question mark, question mark, question mark. What exactly is the problem here? We are upset with these Ring Bomb Party videos. And why are you sounding like you're missing a ring and you're a hostess in disguise? I smell a setup. WTF is that? It's pretty evident if you actually look at all my videos on my channel that I am not a member of any MLM. And I'm very transparent that I was with Beachbody. It's not like I've hidden that anywhere, considering the amount of videos I have done on Beachbody. But that is just some of the weirdest stuff. It's like, you really took time to write that. Again, somebody with no subscribers, another troll. And here we have someone proud to be in Primerica. It's comical to me and sad at the same time, because I can remember believing fully that being part of Beachbody was the ticket, so to speak. And so I can remember being proud to be part of Beachbody. I remember feeling like, yes, this is the thing. And it is, until it isn't, until you do somehow, some way wake up and realize it ain't all that, and you may or may not. That question has Doesn't it? Exactly, Tegan. That question has me like, oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm selling ring bombs. That's what I'm doing. I mean, do you guys want to go to my ring bomb party? Actually, I could probably do a total spoof on that, and y'all would probably be laughing at it. It's just bizarre. People are just weird. And this is another one from a ring bomb. Are you ready? This is another. Oh my God, these things from the ring bomb people. It's like, good Lord. I love these. I think ring bombs are amazing. I think you seem judgy in this video. Now, let me tell you something. Being judgmental does not involve doing a butt ton of research and crafting a script and putting a video together. Being judgmental, and I'm going to give you an example. I want to say it's this past week, Manny MUA and James Charles both tweeted out something low-key shading Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys had tweeted out something about starting a beauty brand or starting something in beauty. And so they assumed it was makeup. It ends up that she's going to do skincare with e.l.f. But they just kind of like made a snap judgment of like, someone not wearing makeup, creating, makeup, basically like, stay in your lane kind of a thing. That's being judgmental because you don't know the full story. You didn't take time to look into something. When someone takes time to go in depth about a company and examine it and critique it, that's not being judgmental. That's criticizing. That's critiquing. That's what that's called. So, let's just get our words right. Okay. Let's just get our words right. Let's see. Okay, this is another ring bomb. Oh my gosh, these ring bomb people, I'm telling you, cracks me up. My mom just started doing it. It's extremely fun. And honestly, the amount of money you get from the rings isn't important, but isn't it? Because you got to buy these dang rings. So isn't it important how much you're spending on these things? It's about the experience. That's all it's about. It's not about your mom trying to make a buck on her side hustle, or maybe you have that be a full-time hustle. It's just about the experience of like doing these ring bomb parties and people having fun. But the thing is, those ring bomb parties, those huns have prizes, and those prizes are not given to them from ring bombs. They have to come up with stuff, buy little trinkets outside of ring bombs, buy more rings to give away. They've got to do it themselves. They got to keep on pouring money in. And I did that in Beachbody too, which, okay, I'm going to do a video on this and share this with you because when I packed and now unpacking, I found all this stuff and I still have it of when I was in Beachbody, because in my groups, I had prizes too. Beachbody didn't give those to me, but you know what they did do? Once a year in the, I want to say it was like towards October, November, maybe November, around that time, there'd be a big sale of, different things, be it, T-shirts and whatnot, or weights, just different things that they have, accessories. And so I'd get some so that I could have giveaways, or I'd get extra personal development books so I could give that, or I'd order stuff off of Etsy so I could give that as a prize. All of this, and I'm funding it myself. That's what all these people are doing. They're funding all of these things. So not only are you buying the product, you're getting all this other stuff so people can be jazzed up over something. It costs a lot of money to do all of that. And it's like, how long can you keep that up? Especially if you're not really bringing in very much money doing it. Okay, this one is on Darren and Mike's Facebook ads guru, fake guru, Enagic scam. My Enagic videos also get a lot of hate. This information is from someone who doesn't even show her face, ? What a bitter person. I hope you're happy with your life. I pity you. I'm very happy with my life. I have a very much a joy-filled life. I love my friends. I love putting out content and interacting with you guys. My dogs are fabulous. My husband is a doll. I have a great life. I mean, are there things that yeah, I'd like some different things to change. Of course, that's what everybody does, right? One day there's a particular kind of car that I've always wanted. I'd love to get that car. I'm not a bitter person, but I find it interesting how, because I'm criticizing something that they like, I'm bitter. it's just always interesting to me how they try to turn this all around, that you're the problem because you don't agree with them. If you don't agree with them, then, obviously it's like you're just a failure. You're a this, you're a that. And I just think it's like, wow. So, I mean, I'm very happy with my life. I really am. I mean, the job that I have, I work with some great people, a great team of people that are very supportive, hashtag not MLM. And so the fact that someone has pity for me is like, let's see, you have no subscribers and you took the time to write that. Seems a little odd to me. Yeah, exactly. Whose face are you seeing now? I mean, yes. And the thing is, it's like, do I have videos where my face isn't shown? Yeah, I do. And guess what? There are creators out there that have channels where they never show their face. But there's plenty of videos where you do see my face. And like right now, I am live. Yeah. Yeah, okay. This is, I'm real. I'm not like Memorex or something. I'm not like a fake person. I'm a real person with real messy hair. But I just think that's so funny. Oh gosh. Now here's this other, okay, this has started to get a lot of hate. I did a video on Scout and Seller, okay? And it's entitled Scout and Seller Shady Practices Exposed. And I had a guest on and it was an interview. So they get real upset with that. Now, you guys, just so you know, in case you don't know, I will let you know right now. My husband is a sommelier. That's why I don't know if you can't see any of them, but most of the boxes we used to pack were wine boxes. We had Rumbauer, Mary Edwards. I have what over here, Soder. I mean, just all kinds of different wines because that, it's like that's what we had to use. So it looked like we were stinking winos when I started unpacking like last week. It was mountains of wine boxes, empty wine boxes. But anyway, and he is the cellar master. And as the cellar master, he's the person that, when the wine comes into the restaurant, he organizes it. And they have over, I want to say, close to 2,000 or over 2,000 vintages. And that means different types of wine. They might have like 10 bottles of one vintage, 2 of one. Like if something's allocated wine means that you are allowed to purchase X amount of quantity of wine from a particular, whoever. I can't think of who, whatever vineyard, because very special wines will be allocated. And so they have a lot of allocated wine. So in their allocations, they might have 3 bottles of DRC or whatever, like just this different stuff. So he organizes it all and puts the labels on everything. He does all the numbering on their system, which they use Posi Touch. And, it's a lot of work for that to be organized. And usually when he is off, most of the time, I don't think there's ever been a night. Let the hubby do it later. Oh, thanks, Joseph. The wine director will text him or call him because he's always like looking like, well, we're such and such. And usually before my husband can respond, he's like, oh, found it, because, my husband has everything organized so well. So I find it really funny for someone who's in a wine MLM to come after me. Not that I am this person who knows a lot about wine. I am level 1 WSET Wine Spirit Education and Trust. I did get level 1 because I wanted to learn a little bit about it. Now, I don't have a palate anywhere near like what my husband is, much less like the wine director or, any of the other people that all in the wine world, because I'm not in the wine world. But anyway, so this is what it said. Both of these ladies said, I'm not sure, more times than I can count, maybe educated. Okay, is that proper English? It shouldn't be educated. Maybe educate yourself before making a video about a company you're not sure about. Lol. Well, the person who I was speaking to is someone who has been in the wine industry for like over 20, 25 years. And she does more things that are, oh crap, I'm not going to remember what it is, but it's basically like if you are, if you need to buy large quantities of wine, like a representative, but she's not a wine rep, she does something else, but she deals with it on the back end. And usually like if you're a sommelier, like in a restaurant, that's called the dark side. You've gone to the dark side if you work for a distributorship. Yeah, I think she does stuff like that. And I may have it not quite right, but she does that. So she knows a lot of stuff. She knows a lot about wine laws within the state that she's in, and that she has a lot of stuff to, fall back on. Now, had I done a deep dive into Scout and Cellar? No, I hadn't. That wasn't the point. The point was to expose some of the things that they're saying, because one of the things that they claim is that their wine is clean crafted, which I now have an article which she sent to me that came out about what bogus stuff, and she had already said it, that saying clean crafted is, because people try to come up with different words that say the same thing all the time. And so trying to make it seem like wine is this special clean crafted thing is just bogus. So if you want to read that article, or maybe I'll do a video on it at some point. I think maybe in the future, she and I are going to partner again and talk about some more things about this, because there are some things that I am concerned about, especially with wine MLMs, given with what my husband does and everything, because the markup on that is significant. I did buy one bottle from Traveling Vineyards when a friend of mine had joined that, before I found out about the anti-MLM stuff. And it was a ridiculous amount of money that I paid for one bottle that was worth like maybe $7. And with the shipping and everything, it was like over $30. It's like, that's just silly. I mean, I can go anywhere else and get, a better bottle of wine. But the thing is that if you don't know a lot about wine, things that they put out, it can sound good. It's like good little sound bites, Does that make sense? Oh, thank you, Raspberry. I appreciate that. And Tegan, thank you too, saying both formats are great. Yeah, I mean, it's like, there's no written rule that says if you do a YouTube video, you have to show your face. There's nothing that says that. Just saying. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. Here's another one. This is on Darren and Mike's Facebook Ads Guru course. Want to accuse them as scammers, but you couldn't even show your face in YouTube. That's because I was doing a deep dive into something. And, that's the thing when somebody doesn't make content, that you don't always know what kind of limitations that you have, because, I do not have a teleprompter. So for me to remember a lot of this stuff when I do a deep dive and to stay on camera, I would have so many stinking jump cuts in there, and it would take me like 12 hours to film. And guess what? I'm not going to do that. As it is, it takes me a long time anyway, because believe me, when I just do voiceovers, I screw up and I have to do retakes all the live long day. And, I'm not going to do that when I'm on camera too. And it's like, okay, where was I? It's a pain in the butt. Let me just tell you, it's a pain in the butt to do all of that. I do it to make it easier on myself so that I can get some content out. And then I'm trying to get like more interesting B-roll so that you have something to look at. But also, a lot of times you don't have to necessarily even be looking at me. You can just kind of like listen to it as you're driving in the car or as you're doing housework or whatever. You don't have to be, like seeing my face. I mean, I do these live streams because, I do like interacting with you guys. Oh, AJC, yeah, see, she just says it. Your voice is expressive enough that I listen to it in headphones while doing other stuff all the time. Exactly. I'm just going to pop that up there. Look, I got fancy. I'm showing a comment. So I got fancy there. Aren't y'all proud of me? I am such a goofball. But I think that's so funny that these people have this issue that I'm not showing my face. Like, oh, heaven forbid. Like somehow that's discrediting me that I didn't show my face. I totally do not understand. Let's see. Oh, there's another one on the ring bomb. I know it is so shocking that there's another comment from the ring bomb. You need a life. Focusing on someone else's life is the world's problem. Let people do what they want and stop trying to control the content you can't stand. What in the world is that? I'm not trying to control anyone's content. What I am trying to do is bring awareness to a problematic business structure that, again, thousands of people have been hurt by. I'm not attacking the huns themselves. That's why, I prefer to not show people's faces because, I always think about what if that was me and all of a sudden, there was something that I did and someone's just showing I would just be so humiliated. I don't want to humiliate anyone and just, shade some little stay-at-home mom that's thinking that if she, sells some wine that she's going to be able to make some money to help her family. I don't want to do that. What I do want to do is show how this overall structure again and again that is bad, that very few people are going to make money from it. That's what I'm doing, is like showing. And I really, really like to do MLMs that people haven't really heard of, because I always feel like those just kind of like slide under the radar, And we know about like It Works, Little Row, Unique, Beachbody, some of these big names we all know. And I can make fun of the Little Row prints, probably every single stinking day, because those are just fugly. But there's so many other ones that people don't know are MLMs that I think need to be talked about. And it takes time for me to research that stuff and try to put stuff together, And so I want to share that so that people can be like, oh, holy crap, I didn't even know about that one. And I try to find just some, ones that are like just bizarre out there, just weird. Oh, let me see. Oh gosh. Okay. This is another one from the Darren and Mike's Facebook ads course. And they are ones that those guys did send me a cease and desist. Obviously that didn't go anywhere, And thank you very much, Doug, for helping me with that. Doug is an attorney and he has helped me. He has fought against it. You may or may not see my interview with Doug Brooks, but he has fought against, MLMs for many, many years. Let's see, scam. So people pretend to build a business, any kind of business, and do it for free. Come on, before you take the time to say something bad about someone's business, I will encourage you to take time to learn more about their business. I actually did learn about their business, and that's what I did, is I just unmasked everything, and it's very problematic. Nothing in life's free. Learn, ask questions, and then criticize them on what you find out. That's exactly what I did, is I found all kinds of things to criticize and critique. I will trust the thousands of people who are doing the business and have changed their lives instead of this lady. And they have no subscribers. Usually that. Sometimes can't blame them. Oh, wow. Local FBI field office. Wow. On speed dial. Wow. Who are these people, Joseph? And maybe you can, share that with me sometime on Patreon. Send me a message over there or email me or something. I'd like to know more. And let me get fancy and I can show the comment. So what Joseph said. See, I'm trying to be fancy. Oh my God, I'm trying to be fancy. I'm so not fancy. I am just so not fancy on anything. Let's see. Oh, and this is a Scout and Sellers hun. Okay, because she posted a link to an article to a Dallas newspaper, because that's going to be all legit. I'm sorry, but I'm going to trust an actual journalist over a bitter old YouTuber who has turned against MLMs due to picking the wrong one years ago to team up with. If you have $1 million dream, don't trust someone with a $40,000 a year salary. And number one, she doesn't know how much I make a year. So, I don't know where you're getting that, but okay, whatever. And, okay, I am 56. I'm very proud of being 56, but I'm also not calling the huns, names. I'm not stooping to like an ad hominem type thing, but that's what they do, is that they just, sling mud at you when you criticize the thing that they think is so fabulous. And she is a hun. So yeah. Saying you won't keep volume at all in Scout and Seller. Customers buy from your website and the wine is shipped to their door. I know that. You cannot buy wine to sell directly to your customers since you personally don't have a liquor license. But they buy from you. They buy from you through your, website. stuff. It's against scout and seller policies. Don't cover a company if you don't do your research. That's just one tip of the iceberg that you got wrong. Again, this was not a deep dive into scout and seller, you know, it wasn't. It was discussion about the wine industry, a lot of that. Oh, this is another one from the Ring Bomb people. This is really what you do in your spare time? Wow, what a miserable life you lead. And I love it because one of you lovely people came back and said, Lowell, for real, you are yelling in your comment. Are you Googling ring bombs and all mad? She is the first thing that comes up. I just love that. I think that's funny when that happens. It's like, yeah, because it comes up, you know. Let's see. I'm getting really, you know, the thing is, this room where I'm at, there's no air vent. And so I get like really flipping hot. Those are those things that you don't always see when you look at a place, but we needed to move literally fast. Trying to find some other ones. Oh, okay. Another ring bomb. Oh, so shocking. Another ring bomb. Well, I don't agree with you on this. I stumbled on one of these ring bomb parties and I love watching him. Yes, a ham. I ordered an earring bomb, $24 total. I'm gambling that it might not be what I like, but I'm willing to check it out. I don't understand what it matters to you. And then somebody responds to her, absolutely the way I feel about it. I also watch a mail and he's fun and entertaining. No customer is forced to buy anything. My money and my time is my business. And yeah, absolutely. Anybody can spend anything on what they want for, you know, whatever. But the problem is those who join do not earn what you may think that they might be earning. You know, if they earn anything, oftentimes they're very much in the red when you look at the amount of time, when you look at all the different things that you've invested in. I mean, it's a lot. And again, it goes back to a very small fraction are ever able to actually make money. So it's just, you know, it's just craziness. It's just craziness. Let me see. These people, you know, talk about me needing a life. Maybe you need to get a life. Just saying. Maybe you do. Okay. So someone said, this is on Scout and Cellar, the wine one again. Do not join these wine MLMs. You will lose money on cheap, low quality wines. I agree with that. It's all about recruiting for the pyramid scheme. I used to be in direct sellers. Now I did do a deep dive, I believe, in direct sellers. So this person who is responding to another, because there were two of these Scout and Cellar wine huns that came, you know, at me on here. Somebody, no doubt, who was not successful in their pursuit of direct sales company to even put this topic on their channel, sour grapes. No pun intended. Laughing till I'm crying emoji. It's all about the commitment you put in to just like a regular 9-to-5 job, which, by the way, talk about pyramid. Oh, good Lord. See, that's something that they try to say is that if you do a regular job where you're agreeing to earn a particular amount of money for working a particular amount of time and get benefits, that's the pyramid scheme. Unless you own your own business, which you are not an owner of your own business when you join any MLM, you're an independent contractor. You are in one with 9-to-5 as well. You answer to a manager who answers to a director, who answers to a CEO, who answers to an owner, who answers to a board, who also earn different levels of income depending on their position and responsibilities. It's a lot different. You are guaranteed to make a particular amount of money. You're not guaranteed jack nor shine-ola when you join any MLM. What you are pretty much guaranteed to do is to waste time and waste money chasing after a dream. That's just not going to come true with that. That's why I support, you know, people doing Etsy, because they're real people doing real businesses where they are, you know, looking to make money, something that's legit that they're crafting themselves. Okay, another ring bomb. Oh my gosh. Not your money, not your problem. It's for fun. And how others hustle is not your issue. You should probably get a real job other than YouTube. Now, these people, I don't get this, okay? Just because you're making videos on YouTube does not mean that is a full-time job for you. There's very few creators who are full-time YouTubers. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. It's something that I do, I mean, I guess you could call it a hobby. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing research. I've always enjoyed doing research. I'm one of those weirdos that, I would pick, like, as an undergrad, I would pick like weird things to research because I wanted to basically see, could I figure it out and put it together. I did this one paper. It was the religion of Genghis Khan, which there's nothing written about that at all, but I was able to like piecemeal something together. It's like, I enjoy digging into something. I mean, that's kind of like what I do also, like as a profession, is that I've got to dig into stuff and like uncover things so that I can write about it so it makes sense. I mean, I'm sure that you've probably, if you work for someone, you've probably had some kind of proprietary software stuff. I've written like proprietary software training, and usually you get these things that are called scripts, but you don't ever get like the full thing of like how to be able to actually explain it to someone. I've got to kind of take something and figure out how to make this sound so anybody can kind of pick it up and figure it out and do it. Because generally how someone who writes code, they can't write something in an educational type way. It's a different specialty. So there. Oh, I'm sure you did, Joseph. You made more money than those people. Yep, absolutely. I mean, that's what kills me. It kills me is if they're trying to, say that this is freedom for them. Okay, so to that comment, thank you, Dylan, for responding. But she literally has a real job. She writes educational material like for school, so maybe she is more intelligent than you assume. Yeah, well, it just goes back to what I was just talking about is, I mean, I've written stuff, oh gosh, be it for, proprietary type software stuff to soft skills training to, I mean, when I taught anthropology online, I mean, I did stuff for civil affairs. I did anti-terrorism training. I did all kinds of things in oil and gas. I mean, all kinds of stuff that's what I do is I figure out how to put this stuff together. And that's generally what I try to do when I do a deep dive is be able to craft a story about it and try to make some sense out of into so much of it. Then when you look at it, it's just nonsense. When you look at those compensation plans, I mean, I swear I need like, a handle of Fireball to get through doing some of this and just do shot after shot after shot. Cause I'm like, my gosh, they set me free. Cause I'm like, these are just crazy. But that's the thing that like when you join and stuff, you don't realize the insanity is like out of it. You're like, wow, this really is just completely illogical. But when you're in it, you're just like, you're doing your best to make it make sense, even though it's not. I mean, if you were handed a compensation plan, like from an MLM to get a real job, like Joseph, if you were given a compensation plan, like what you see in MLMs and told this is how you are going to be compensated, you'd probably tell them where they could stick it. But when you buy into this dream, somehow you think all this craziness just makes sense. That is, as long as you keep working it, and you don't give up and you have the right mindset, and, you truly believe in it and you get behind it and you just keep going at it, no matter what, that you're going to make it. Bunch of malarkey. And someone is asking, okay, let me just address this because this person this is on, again, this is the Darren and Mike's webinar, Fake Guru Enagic MLM Scam. So there's a couple of different ones that are on Darren and Mike. Can I ask why there are plenty of ads on this video which lead you to the same MLM system? Now, I don't know what ads are there. Yes, the hype does create the illusion. Yes, absolutely, because they pump you up. That's part of the personal development and all that, to pump you up. That way, it keeps you distracted. As a content creator, especially like at my level, which I'm a little bitty no one or anything, we have no control over what ads play. I think probably what happens is that they figure out like what words you are using in your description, in your keywords, in your title, all of that, and what you say. And it's like the algorithm tries to, match it up in that way. And it's comical to me that oftentimes on anti-MLM videos, like a Beachbody ad will play, because I know Beachbody ads have played on mine, and I've done probably like 50 videos on Beachbody. And it's like, oh, well, you know what? You're paying me more through the AdSense than you ever did with me trying to shill Beachbody. So thank you very much, MLM. So overall, I've made more money off of all of the MLMs that do like pay for advertising than, you know, being in one. And probably there might even be some of those, you know, guru types, the ones that can make you successful in MLMs. Those ads might play. I would not be surprised, because I've done several videos on Ray Higdon. If you're not familiar with Ray Higdon, he's like an Eric Worre, but just not as well known. And I'm getting ready to do another one where I have some content from his group, and it's what the people, because people in his group are from all different MLMs, and it's just really interesting to me how they all are saying some of the same things. And it's like, I just want to grab them and shake them and wake them up and say, it ain't gonna get any better. You know, I mean, and I know you believe in this thing so much. I did too. I so full on believed in it. And it's very difficult to swallow your pride, so to speak. And this is what I wish Holly would do is, you know, going back to Holly Marie Combs, I wish she would kind of like swallow her pride and come up with an apology video, because she took the time to listen to what people who are saying that is not good about multi-level marketing and truly educated herself. I mean, there's different papers I could send her, you know, watch the Dream podcast, you know, again, talk to Robert Fitzpatrick. I mean, talk to me, not even recorded or anything. And I could have a couple of different people on here, including Robert, and we could all have a powwow and, you know, not share that with the world, because I wouldn't do that. If I tell you I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do that. That, I think, would be great to come out and say, like, I made a huge mistake, and this is why I did it. I thought it was this, because, you know, I get the whole idea, and this is going to segue a little bit into this past week was the unique event, the convention. There it is. There's the word, you know, okay. Words just sometimes just slip away from me. It was the unique convention, and MLM police did send me, because when she was live streaming it, and, you know, I was working, I work during the day. I'm not available just to be able to bounce around and do things, because, you know, I work. I'm not a full-time YouTuber, which goes back to somebody about, you know, get a real job and, you know, YouTube not be your job. YouTube is not most people's jobs, but I guess people aren't aware of that. Anyway, I couldn't be there in that live stream, but what I wish Holly would do would be able to come out and say that, you know, I remember, because she talks about this in the Instagram video that I'm going to respond to. And it's the same for me, is that there were people that I knew growing up, that it was like the Avon lady, the this or the that, and you didn't really think anything of it. Well, that's long before social media ever came along, you know. But social media has really allowed these things to just, you know, explode. But at the same time, just like they have exploded on social media, it gives us a platform to say, hey, these are some things you should be looking at, because this is a problem. It's not what you think it is. And during the convention for Unique, I went and looked on a friend that I've known since I was 12 years old, because she was, and so, oh my gosh, I don't have it in here. I had bought 3D mascara from Unique from her, and I think a couple of other products. And I'm going to do a video, because I did get a check of not a refund, but I was part of, I guess, the overall lawsuit. So I got money back from having bought Unique products. Boy, I'm really going to be able to do something with this money. So I think I'll do something on that sometime, because I think it'll just be kind of, you know, interesting to talk about. But I went and looked, and last year she went to the convention, and I remember she posted something about like how she wanted to be a Black status presenter. And looking back of having been at the Beachbody convention, I can remember, you know, making commitments also, because making commitments and publicly making these commitments, because when you put something out there publicly, you're more likely to go after it, because you've let people know about it, and that's how they trap you some more. So she didn't say anything this year about Black status, but I did scroll along and she talked about her best friend that she's known since she was 3. And then they've had this on again and off again. That's a whole other, Jerry Springer episode of the kind of relationship they've had. But she was congratulating this person on her team for becoming a yellow status presenter. And she didn't say yellow status presenter, but I could tell by the background was yellow. I was like, oh, because it's white and then yellow is the second rank. And the person underneath her, she has been underneath her for well over a year. And I don't remember what it takes to become a yellow status presenter, but I'm like, that's the first rank. And it took you probably like 3 years to get there. So we're going to have a big celebration about that. Big celebration. Okay, let me see. I got involved in one, but never really wanted to do it. I ended up ordering 2 boxes full of stuff. Never got them sold. Not even tried to. I quit after 3 months. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, you know what? It feels crappy. 6-pack of Coke Zero. I'm not sure where that came from, Joseph, because I get your comments like it doesn't come up like real time. So sometimes I don't follow along what you guys say. So I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But going back again to Holly, this is kind of all over the place. Sorry, guys. I really do wish she would take the time to learn about what we in the anti-MLM community say and really be able to analyze it and use critical thinking to see, like, is it really what she thinks it is? Because I get once upon a time, it's like, oh, and that's kind of like some of the illusion also is that, oh, you're just helping your friend out. Just like my friend's friend that I know also that is now a yellow status presenter. She helped her out by joining, okay, yeah, sure, I'll join to help my friend out. That's all. It's all an illusion. And, Elena, I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, but you said that the illusion bubble, and it's, yeah, the hype creates the illusion. Absolutely does. Oh, the refund check. Thank you, Joseph. The 6-pack of a Coke Zero for a refund check. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you for putting that in there. I need context, guys, because my brain is all over the place. But don't you think that would be really great if Holly could take the time to really look at what we say versus what she's been told? But the only way I think she could do it, and I am going to make a full-on video dedicated just to this, is if she stepped away. Because if you remain inside the multi-level marketing bubble, you continue to be around the loaded language, the indoctrination of the mindset of all of the things. You're skewed. Your personality kind of alters and you become the MLM personality. So you're not your true self. You're not able to see things, unless you're wearing your MLM glasses, so to speak, if that makes sense. But it's like you have to be able to take those off and be able to okay, what is really being said here? What is really going on? Why do so many people have a problem with this? Okay, and it's one thing to say the definition of what a pyramid scheme is, but what do they mean by product-based pyramid scheme? What is that? How does that operate? Because I can guarantee you that Robert Fitzpatrick would not have written the amount of material, or David Breyer would not have written the amount of material that those two men have written about MLMs over the past 20, 30 years if there were not problems, I mean, people like MLM police, the anti-MLM coalition, all, that run these different things, LBUT, the Pink Truth, all of these people would not be talking about this stuff if there weren't real problems. We're not a bunch of people that just hate other people. We don't like the structure because the structure is damaging. It's really that. So I really wish Holly, and this is still an extension to Holly. If you ever see this, I am glad to hook you up and let's talk to some people, nothing recorded, just be open and willing to hear what people are saying and not just look at it only from the perspective of you're just helping your girl out, whoever you joined under, if you joined under, if you're not being paid to say that you are part, I really don't know. And for your profile that involves. There's a frame that involves the recovering hun bot. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet, Jill. I want to see what that looks like. Oh, that's so cute. Send it to me. Send a message of like to me on Facebook so I can see what it looks like because I have no idea. No idea. Okay, that's about all I have. I think I will do a rant over on Alonda Unscripted. It's not going to be a live stream because I mean I don't even have 100 subscribers over there, and that's okay. But I am going to rant over there. About so I mean I've got a lot of stuff over there to talk about. I've got all kinds of things that are, it's not MLM related. That's why I do it over there because it's like, do you guys want to hear me talk about other things? If you do, then go look at Alonda Unscripted because I've got stuff to talk about. I've got a lot to say. I've got opinions about things and experience that I'm just going to share. So if you want to hear what I have to say, go over there. Anyway, thank you so very much for spending time with me. I really appreciate that. You have no idea how much I appreciate you taking out time to, be here with me. It means the world to me. I can't believe anybody wants to hear me talk about anything. And I'm really glad that you do. And I hope that you find things that I say to be helpful or insightful or make you, and if you don't agree with everything that I say, that's okay. You don't have to agree with everything that I say. I'm never here for you to be like, you gotta agree just with every single thing that I say. Do your own research. I mean, that's the thing. Please go and do your own research and really, be critical about it. Don't just look at it from one side. You got to kind of like fully, all around. Now, when I do my content, obviously it's going to be biased because I do anti-MLM. Why would I do something pro-MLM when I'm anti-MLM? I'm going to take that stance of like, this is why this is crappy. That's what I do here, Anyway. Oh, thank you so much, Tegan. That's so very sweet. She just said that she loves my videos. Thank you. I mean, that means the world to me because I do put a lot of heart and soul into it. I mean, doing the research that I do, it's like, it can be exhausting. It really can. And I am, like I said, I am working on that video about, Holly and everything. And it's not really so much about her. And it's not really so much about Monet. It's really going to be more about what she needs to think about and my response, because she says some very hun things in this live stream that I have access to, some very, very hun things. And so it's like, I can point it in another way, but it's not, I don't have hate towards her. So please do not send her any hate for joining Monet or anything. It's not about that at all. As a matter of fact, I think she's a very talented actress, but I don't think she has aligned with something that, is putting good out into the world, not in the way that she thinks. I just have to look at her and any other celebrity that gets caught up in multi-level marketing like I do anyone else. Because you know what? I think it's very foolish of us as human beings to think that celebrities know more than we do about multi-level marketing, because most people don't know jack. They have no idea about, unless you lift the hood and you start going into all the different, things and all of that you start uncovering, like there are some very twisted turn things, and yes, culty and all kinds of stuff. Oh, Joseph, I'm so glad that you love my rants. I got a lot of rants in me. I've got some rants about the mover. Well, not the movers that we had in this move. They were absolutely great, but the movers in between, I'm going to do a rant on that. I'm definitely going to do a full-on rant about Jamba Juice and their Orange Dream Machine smoothie, how it changed. And I've talked about that in one former live stream, but I'm going to go more into it because I'm really upset that how do you call something Orange Dream Machine when there's not a stinking orange in it anymore, and it tastes nothing like what the old one did. It tastes like crap now. It's just really sad. It makes me very upset. Hey, Maley, Mally. It's a makeup brand that I did try. I'm probably going to do kind of a review rant about it because I really think it's kind of crap, and why I think it's crap. And I don't think everything in this world is crap, but I will share with you things that I do find problematic. I wanted to do some Amazon hauls because I've gotten so much stuff from Amazon, but I had to end up putting the stuff away. So that's probably not going to happen, because the hashtag move, and then I'd be having more boxes all around me. But, I don't know, other stuff. And if you have ideas for Alonda Unscripted, please put those comments under one of those videos so that I can see them, because I would love to know what you would like to hear me rant about and what you would like me to review. Because, you know, I would really like to do some more of those sort of things, because, you know, doing that content, it gives me an opportunity to kind of chill, because doing all this anti-MLM content can be very, very heavy and taxing and really pull you down a lot. You may not realize that, but it does take a toll on me mentally. And so doing that is that I just feel like I can be more free. That's why it's Alonda Unscripted, because I don't have anything that I've written. I just kind of go off the cuff, like what I'm doing right here on live stream. And so that's a wrap. Thank you again so much for being here, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Please be safe wherever you are. Wear masks, social distance, do all of that. Do the things that people are asking you to do. And, you know, think of other people. And please, if you interact with anybody who has been or is in multi-level marketing, approach them with love and kindness. You know, think about how you would want someone to approach you, and just go to them with a heart of love and understanding, because most of the time people don't know what they're involved in. They don't really understand how destructive it is, and they don't understand that it's destroying them as they're in it. So until next time, again, thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.